their head, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a big bull of this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Yeah. Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been petty. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a big bull of this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs.
Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. He is Jason, the chosen one. I am Greg, a legend, but only in my mind. Jay, what's going on with you, bruh? Yeah, you goddamn right. Barry Horowitz. Barry Horowitz. That's me. What's going on with you, man?
No sleep, but work is work.
Work is work. Work is work. We got to get up and get this thing going, man. We got Showtime Finance in the building. Salute, fam. Terry Smoot Jr., what's going on with you, fam? I got to get on Jermell Charlo. I have to do it. There go my guy, Jay Will. What's going on? Hey, Jay, I meant to ask you, man, are you from Florida? It would make sense if you are. Marquis, salute, bruh. Salute. I know he in Miami, but I don't know if he's from Florida.
Come on. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Jay, we need to show love to the people that support the channel, Rock Dog Interactive. If you need anything relative to graphic designs, web design, Rock Dog Interactive, they can do it for you. We also got Black Father Figures. That's our guy, the League of Legacies, doing wonderful work in the community for Black fathers, and that's much needed work. And then finally, Nadaj Vodka, www.nadajvodka.com. I got some Nadaj Vodka back there right now, Jay, when I'm working during the day. If I get, when I get around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm about to wrap up of that day, man, I get the opportunity to have myself a little day cap, if you will. I turn around and pour up a little Nadaj Vodka, mix it with anything, cranberry, orange juice, you name it. It's one of the best tasting vodkas out there, triple distilled and black owned, ladies and gentlemen. So I think it might be the only black owned vodka or spirits brand in, actually, no, definitely in Florida. But we know P. Diddy owns one. But anyway, guys, welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast again. And of course, we gonna jump right in it because Jay, that's what we do. We don't play around. We don't clown. We got to start off with Jermell Charlo. Jay, I jumped on here, man. Sunday morning rant. I was getting off, Jay. I was on fire because I woke up this morning and I was actually upset seeing some of the posts that we had in our video that we did last night in regards to Jermell Charlo and his performance. In my personal opinion, it was a putrid performance. People got mad at me saying that, Greg, it's easy to saying it behind a mic. You ain't never been in the ring. You can't say nothing if you didn't buy a ticket. Can you imagine that last one, Jay? You can't say nothing if you ain't buy a ticket. Geniuses, everybody can't fit in the arena. So if you imagine if a fighter only got paid based off of being at the fight, buying tickets, well, they wouldn't make all that much money. They wouldn't make as much money as they currently making. I don't even know how you frame yourself, make your mouth say those words, or make your fingers type that out, bro. It makes absolutely no sense. Pay-per-view is driving primarily all of the revenue associated with a fighter's purse, yet you're saying that I don't have the option to say anything unless I bought a ticket?
Wow. We paid to see him. We paid to watch him pay-per-view, whether we and at the stadium.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely. We wanted to see Jermell Charlo do what he said he was going to do. Jermell Charlo told me and you and everybody in the chat and the whole wide world that was watching that last weigh-in that he was coming to win. He said it in the last press conference. He was coming to win. He did not come to win. He came to survive. And that was clear. And anybody that's Jay, somebody mentioned one time in the chat basically saying he deserves the money that he gets because of the work he put in at 54. Jay, let me ask you a question. Can you go to your job tomorrow and say, boss, I should get paid today based off of all the work that I did last year? Forget how I'm performing. Forget how I'm performing today. Don't worry about how I'm performing today. Pay me for what I did last year and the year before that and the year before that. What sense does that make? No. It doesn't work like that, guys. So Jay, I'm gonna open it up for you, man, my friend. I want you to go ahead and get your opportunity to say, because I went on a rant this morning. Call me ranting Greg. I was ranting all over the place, bro. So, and I think people, huh? Say what now?
They call you RG ranting Greg, huh?
You call me RG ranting Greg, because I will go on a rant, Jay. You know me, I go on a rant quick. And I know a lot of people are upset with me because, they feel like this is a PBC channel. We support PBC fighters. Man, we support all types of fighters. But I got to call it the way that I see it. And if I see that a fighter did not perform up to snuff, then I got to call it out. We said that Spence didn't perform up to snuff. We said that. But the difference between Spence and Jermell Charlo is that Spence went out there trying to win. Even when it was clear to me that Spence was not going to win that fight, which was around round 4, Spence was still taking risk to win.
Round 4.
It was round 4 for me. Spence was still taking risk to win the fight, right? At the end of, for me it was 4. Once he tried to push Terence Crawford back and Crawford didn't move, I was like, it's over. But anyway, Spence still took risk to win the fight. Jermell did not. He did not take any risk to win the fight. And to me, that is a putrid performance considering everything that he said. And then when you think about what he said after the fight, Jay talking about, look at what happened to the other guys. They got knocked out. I didn't. I'm truly a 154 pounder. I'm calling out Terence Crawford now. Come on, bro. So, man, let me shut up. I talked enough. I'm about to get back on another rant. So, Jay, I'm going to open it up for you. And then if you ain't got nothing to say, I'm about to go back on a diatribe.
I got something to say. Trust me about this one. This one right here, I got something to say. First and foremost, welcome back, Brian S. We tried to figure out what was going on with the live stream last night. Could not figure out how to get you back in, man. So
he was in this morning. He was in this morning.
I don't have it. Oh, it was in this morning? Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Glad you're back one way or another. I was worried you're going to be out for 24 hours or more. But that performance or lack thereof that Mel did was worse than Daniel Dubois fight. It was worse than that. When he fought Usyk and took a knee later on in the fight. It was worse when he took a knee against Joe Joyce. It was worse than AJ. You know, we talked about them not having heart. This was a business decision for Mel, and he robbed us. I'm not going to pay. If he had told me, you know, I'm just going there, just going to survive, I wouldn't have paid for that. I wouldn't have paid for that. Hell no. Matter of fact, the other fights on the fight card were better. Because each of those
we would have paid.
Those competitors were fighting.
We would have paid, Jay, because we have to.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like don't sit here and talk all that noise that you're going to do this or do that, and you don't do shit. You literally came in to survive that whole fight from round one. I don't want to hear people talking about, well, once he felt Canelo's power, no bullshit. Then I saw something else saying, oh, he had a hand injury. Okay, but he didn't do nothing with the good hand he had neither. He didn't do shit. I mean, Tank had one hand against Esau Cruz. We saw what he was doing against Esau. He was still using the good hand he had, and the hand that was damaged, he still used it from time to time. So Mel went in there for a money grab, and like someone said in the chat, he took an opportunity for someone else to get that fight and actually fight for a championship to try to get the fight. He also took a chance. He took the shot away from Tim Tszyu to be undisputed. So now I feel for Tim Tszyu for being pissed off and being mad at Mel because he robbed him of his chance of being undisputed for one shot. You know what I'm saying? Also, after this fight, he said to Derrick Jame, "My bag." Y'all, come on, man. Come on now. You can't say after you get your butt, after you lose a fight, you're talking about, oh, tell the trainer, oh, my bag. Afterwards, nah. That means you weren't doing what you're supposed to do during the fight. In addition to that, you're gonna call out Bud. If I'm Bud did, I'm glad Bud did what he did on Twitter. I don't always agree with Bud, but with Bud, all the 3 tweets that Bud did put out there about Mel, he was right on every last one of them. Actually, I want him to keep going and do more because it was deserved of that. He deserved it. He deserved to eat to him. You know, so it don't make no sense for him to call out, oh, I'm going back to 154. I'm proud that he didn't get knocked out. John Ryan didn't get knocked out. 95-year-old Lil G didn't get knocked out. Nah, miss me with that mess, man. Nah, and we were a Charlo supporter. We were just supporting boxing in general, but we were pulling for Charlo. The only thing Charlo did that I didn't expect him to do, he survived. I wouldn't expect him to just go out there like that. So I'm beyond disappointed, Joe A. I'm beyond disappointed. I'm actually pissed about the shit because all that yapping, all that other stuff, talking about he undisputed. This wasn't the fight no one asked for, number one. And now you just made him even more reason why we didn't want this fight anyway. So, nah, man, miss me with that shit.
Jason is angry
you got
today. He is angry today. Let me get back on my diatribe. We, to the point that you made earlier, we have been supporters of Jermell Charlo for quite some time now. I still like Jermell Charlo. We advocated for Jermell Charlo to be in the top pound for pound fighters in the world. So, again, avid supporters of Mel. That was, dude, you have to try. It's not enough of you can't use you moved up 2 weight classes as an excuse for why you didn't perform in the way that you performed, or people should use that as an excuse letting you off the hook because you did not actually try. Like, no, I'm sorry. That does not work for me. You chose to move up 2 weight classes. For those who are saying, well, you guys, you're not fighters. You're sitting behind a desk, Greg. Look at you. Absolutely. I'm sitting behind a desk. And guess what? I'm getting paid adequately for what I do. The level of risk that he is taking on, he is getting paid adequately for that level of risk. Therefore, the performance that we are expecting from him in that fight, we want to see that performance because, yes, he is taking on way more risk. He is putting his life on the line. But to do so, he is getting rewarded in a way that many of us will never get rewarded. Right, Jason?
Millions.
So I don't want to hear about him putting his life on the line. I get that, but he's still getting rewarded for that. The risk versus the reward. Hey, if you told me that you would pay me tomorrow $10 million to get into the ring with anybody, watch me. You'll see me there. You'll see me there because the risk reward of it is the trade-off. But I chose not to go down that path. I'm sitting back here in this, I would hope people would think, lovely home in my nice little air-conditioned office. And I do what I do. And people criticize us for what we do as well, Jay. You always get criticized for what you do, no matter what it is. If you are performing professionally, there is somebody there that's willing to criticize you if you're not performing up to expectations. That's what we're here for. That's what the fans are here for. And if one or two things are going to happen. Either we're going to voice our disappointment in regards to his performance last night and let him know how disappointed we were. And then that would then hopefully change behaviors moving forward. Or we're simply going to withhold our dollars and let you know that we're disappointed in that way. Either or. I would rather it be the former than the latter. How about you, Jay? If you were in those shoes, wouldn't you rather it be the former than the latter? Hey, guys, I would rather you go ahead and tell me how you feel and make sure that I do better in the next fight so you still come and support my fights because that's how I get paid versus you guys just saying, taking your wallet and putting it back in your pocket saying, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Exactly. And true and divine, we do enjoy fights, but you can't enjoy a fight when one fighter is clearly not there to fight. When he's clearly not to fight, that's not enjoyable for me. That's not enjoyable. That's not fighting. That's bullshit.
Jason Williams. So Jason Williams and our relationship started off rocky. He used to come in the comment section. And Jason Williams, I don't know if you answered this yet, but are you from Florida? Answer that for me very quickly. But he used to come in the comment section. He would make his arguments, but every time he made his argument, then he would talk about the decor in my office. Boy, that used to piss me off. Because
issues and everything. He used to get on us about everything, about our headphones, the whole nine.
Dude. Because when you first start the channel, you're not going to put a ton of money into it because you're spending so much more money than you actually make. So I wasn't willing to do that. Okay, see, guys, Florida guys are different. I was talking to Bud Crawford's cousin, and he was talking about Florida dudes, and he was saying how reckless and crazy we talk, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like we talk crazy in Florida. So I should have known you was from Florida when you came in the comment section talking crazy like that. But I digress. Listen, I'm going to support Mel in his next fight for sure. I wanted to make that clear as a part of this podcast. We will be supporting him. At least I think we will be supporting him. Jay may have a different opinion on that, but I think we're going to support.
I got to see. He got to do a hell of a job in the press conference. Put it to you like that. True and divine, Charlo did not try to win this fight last night. The difference between Canelo and Charlo was not that big of a difference where he couldn't do anything. Nah, that wasn't it. Matter of fact, put it to you like this. Tell me this. Is the difference between the skill level between Charlo and Canelo worse than Spence than Bud? You tell me. But now, for me to watch another Mel fight, man, he gonna have to sell the hell out that fight in the press conference. He's gonna have to go out there and sell it, bro. Because last night wasn't it for me. MH, yes, John Ryder fought harder. John Ryder went through the fire and made it to a decision.
Let me ask you a question, man. Let me ask you a question. I thought about this last night, but it's hard for me to bring this up because I am an avid supporter of Errol Spence. Do you feel that Jermell saw what happened to Errol, man, and didn't want that to be his fate? Meaning, Errol was busted up, bloody, memes, all of that, and he just tried to avoid that. What are your thoughts on that? How might the performance of Errol Spence, or at least the outcome, relative to how he was portrayed on social media, how might that have played out in terms of how Jermell decided to approach the fight in your mind?
You shouldn't have signed a contract there if you felt that way.
I get my ass whooped for $10 million. I will fly down to Miami and let Jason Williams punch. Hey Jay, I'll fly down to Miami and let.
It's two different fighters, two different situations right there, man.
I would fly down. I would fly down to Miami for $10 million and allow Jason Williams to punch me in the face 10 times.
The thing is this, Spence kept fighting. Spence did everything he could in that fight, and he went out on his shield. Mel packed it in. That's the thing. He packed it in, and the thing about it is, he is giving us a certain level of expectation for himself based on his other fights. I wasn't saying whether he just go in there and just start throwing haymakers and get his ass knocked out. That's not what I'm saying. But to be in there just to be in survival mode for 9-10 rounds, come on, man. That's why right now I give the ultimate respect to Spence, because Spence put his heart out there. He fought to the tooth and nail. Maybe I'm spoiled from the old school days. Maybe I'm spoiled by someone like a Deontay Wilder, who would go out there and want to go out on his shield. That's why we gave AJ hell, because AJ was kind of like shying away from that. That's why we gave Daniel Dubois hell for shying away from that shit. Joe Joyce. John Ryder was definitely not as skilled as Mel and not as skilled as Canelo, but he fought his ass off. He was hungry. He tried to win that fight. Mel did not try. That's the difference. He didn't put forth the effort to. He just wanted to survive. From round 3? Come on, man. You can't do that shit early in the fight. I can't go with that, man. And maybe it's because I have a higher expectation from Mel from what he's done in the past. I didn't have him win in the fight, but at least pinch Canelo. Shit.
Yeah, we'll see let's transition into what's next for Jermell Charlo, because I think we've gone on long enough about his performance. I think everybody knows how we feel right now about Mel's performance. It was putrid. So what's possibly next, Jay, for Jermell Charlo? I think it's likely that he moves back down to 154 pounds. We're probably talking about somebody like Tim Tszyu. Tszyu is still showing interest in making that fight. I would like to see that fight. I think that fight is a lot closer than what you think it is now. I like the performance from Tszyu in his last couple of fights.
Yeah,
and so
I definitely think this performance last night changed my whole mindset, because you know how I felt about beforehand. Mm-hmm. I felt Tszyu wasn't in the same level on Mel, and Mel was going to get Tszyu up out of there early. Now, I don't know what to expect from Mel, man. I don't know if if his head and his heart is in it, or he's just thinking about business and just doing it for the money and just surviving. I don't know, man. What's next for Mel? I mean, definitely not Bud. He messed up the fight with Bud. He messed that up by his lackluster performance. People may want to still see the fight, but it's not going to sell like that. You can't pitch that. You can't tell me, you going to mess up Bud, but you backed off against this fight against Canelo where you did in that fight. So, with that, maybe a rematch with Lubin be decent. But I mean, nah. It's not making sense to me for him. I'm not sure where he goes next with this, honestly.
Yeah, so Terence Crawford has already said that he has no interest in fighting him. He put out some tweets last night that
rightfully so.
That were very critical of Jermell Charlo, which is I think is perfectly fine, as you said. And I don't think there will be any level of buzz for this fight just because of Mel's performance. And again, if Mel truly wanted back-to-back paydays, then honestly, it would have been better for him to go out on his shield, because he would have gotten a lot of respect going out on his shield, similar to what we did for Deontay Wilder. Like Wilder, don't get me wrong, I'm not an advocate for going out there, man, and getting knocked out, but I am an advocate for going out there and putting it on the line to try to win. Like, I'm not saying you got to put you got to have your chin exposed and throwing in ways but you got to take more of a risk than what you than what Mel did. And when you do that, people will respect it and they will support you in your next fight. In my opinion, because of the way that he performed last night, and I know a lot of people feel that Terence Crawford is, I don't know, maybe his profile is elevated, and I think his profile is elevated to some degree after the Errol Spence fight, for sure. Make no bones about it. And he went on his little press tour after the fight, had his victory parade, all of that, right? But I still don't see Terence Crawford as an individual who can carry a pay-per-view by himself. That's not going to happen. And so if you put him in the ring with Mel, I think Tonovich mentioned it last night that it probably does 150,000 buys. I would say it would do more. I think it probably does, I don't know, maybe 250 or something like that, 200 to 250. But 150 is definitely in the realm of possibility. So that fight is dead to me because Crawford is looking for a huge payday, and he's not going to get it with Mel. And I'm not sure Crawford's going to get a huge payday again at all, to be quite honest with you. The only huge payday is Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo already said last night that he really has no real interest in that fight. Yeah. If it makes sense business-wise, sure. But I think when he says that, he's talking about money. Jay, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, for me to see Bud move up, I'm not mad at Bud saying he wants that fight. I'm not mad at him like that.
I'm not either.
Not at all. Try to get your money. I mean, just think from a business aspect of it and logistics.
And he gonna fight.
It don't make sense from Canelo.
And he gonna fight.
You know? Yeah.
Say what you want. Say what you want about Crawford. He gonna actually go in there and fight. Win, lose, or draw. He gonna fight.
He gonna go in there fight. That's one thing I can respect about Crawford. Crawford will always go in there to fight. He gonna go in there to fight. You know, but him fighting Canelo at 168, it doesn't do much. It doesn't move the needle for Canelo. You know, this fight here with Mel, it didn't move the needle for Canelo. If Mel had won, it would have moved his needle. It would raise his profile. But Canelo beating Mel, it didn't raise Canelo's profile. You know, it was a good undisputed versus undisputed. That's what they try to pitch it as. Fight no one asked for. Again, money grab. No one asked for this. You know, but for Bud, I mean, he's in a tough spot as far as because at 147, we know the biggest threat for him, not saying we'll beat Bud, but the biggest threat for Bud at 147 is Boots. But it's not a big money thing for him. Boots' profile is not big enough to warrant a huge money fight at this time. So if I'm Bud, I'm 36 years old, I'm on top of the world, 2-time undisputed. Yeah, I want a big payday. I don't mind for him. I'm not mad at him for trying to shoot to get this Canelo fight. You know, he still think he has the skills to move up to 168, which would be some G shit if he actually was get that fight and beat Canelo. That'd be something big. You know, but now that the way Mel messed up the reputation and everything for the fight for him with him at 154, you know, what is he going to do? Bud said he really wants to be undisputed 3 times. He don't have no other place to go right now. He has to wait.
I want to address a couple of comments in the comment section. John Mack said everything on pay-per-view is killing boxing. Just ask Rick Glacier. I disagree with that. I think what boxers were getting paid is what was killing boxing. I think this is where I've always had a disagreement with PBC. When they got that $500 million deal and they were on multiple networks, I think some of those fighters were probably getting overpaid. And so that's I believe the challenge with it. Not necessarily on pay-per-view because there's certain things that should be on pay-per-view and it's appropriate. But a lot of these fighters were making well above what they probably should have been making. And then Tunnel Vision said you're wrong, way off. It's not doing 150,000 pay-per-view buys. Boy, that's a stretch for me, Tunnel. I think it'll do more than that. I think Crawford has enough of a name for it to do more than that. Now, yeah, I think it can do it. What you call it? Mel did destroy the fight, but yeah.
Yeah, he destroyed the fight with that type of showing right there. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's just disappointing, man. That's why I'm mad about this shit here because I never had him win. I didn't have him winning anywhere against Canelo, but damn, I thought he at least pinch Canelo. You know, do something to Canelo, man. Step on his foot. push him or something. Do something.
Yeah, he did nothing last night.
It was just highly disappointing. I mean, especially the other fights that we saw in that fight card that were so good and competitive, and people were trying to win. They were actually trying to win. Jesus Ramos didn't know what he was doing against Lubin until like round 9. He figured 8 or 9. He realized, I gotta throw my jab. I gotta throw my jab.
Let's talk about that fight. Because that fight there was interesting. Earlier this morning, I saw people saying that they felt that Ramos got robbed. I thought Lubin won the fight 9-3. I remember Jay was in the chat last night. He had it, I believe, 7-5. So it's very interesting how some people scored it.
Get robbed, man.
Drop your scores in there, man. So Joe A say Ramos was robbed. I didn't see that.
I didn't see it like that.
I thought Ramos did nothing in those middle rounds. He stopped using his jab. He just started walking behind a high guard, and that allowed Lubin to get off and be more active from the outside and force and allow Lubin to stay in the middle more. Where Lubin was throwing his jab, going upstairs, going downstairs with the jab to the stomach, getting combinations off. It was clear to me that Lubin was winning. And then Ramos round 9 started using his jab again, and all of a sudden Lubin's activity dropped and Lubin started moving backwards. And so and to me, I'm like, what was he doing? Why did he stop using his jab? Because that was really what was making it effective, using the jab. And then once he got Lubin pushed back, he was getting off on the ropes, going to the body. He stopped doing that after like round 4. So I had Lubin winning that fight 117-111. And I personally thought Lubin would get knocked out.
And yeah, I had Lubin. I thought Lubin was gonna get knocked out as well.
Every time Ramos used his jab, he won those rounds easily. When he did not use that jab, he lost.
Most time he got off on Lubin was when Lubin allowed himself to get against the ropes. Middle ring, Lubin was taking care of him. He was using his experience, and Ramos looked lost in the middle rounds. I think Ramos was an exceptional, really good kid, really good future fighter. I just think the experience wasn't there for him because he looked lost to me. Not using your jab when that was what was working for you, he stopped using that. So I didn't think he won that.
No, I thought he walked away from his jab, and I mean, I don't see how anybody had Ramos winning that fight. Honestly, like Ramos did. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, and I said this on the live stream. In some of those rounds, neither one of those guys had a lot of activity, but to me, in the rounds that I had and I scored for Lubin, it was all about Ramos not jabbing. Anytime Ramos jabbed, he looked good. For whatever reason, after round 3, round 4, he stopped jabbing until later on in the fight. And as soon as he started back jabbing, he started finding range and started having success again. So I'm sorry, you just can't walk up behind the guy or walk to the guy with simply a high guard and you're not jabbing as you're walking up with your high guard. And Lubin is just throwing shots and keeping them at bay. I mean, you got to score somehow. Ramos did it. Ramos didn't do anything in those middle rounds that would make me suggest, or that would suggest to me that he should have won those rounds. Can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see it as either. And the good thing with Jesus Ramos, he's young. He has time to learn from this fight here and rebound from it. I mean, the kid is real smart. When I interviewed him, I got the vibes. That's why I was thinking, man, seeing how Lubin looked the last couple of fights, I'm like, I thought Ramos was going to handle that. I wasn't sure what Lubin we were going to get. Lubin was smart. Lubin actually had a good game plan and boxed him, except for when he just let himself get back into the ring against the ropes a little bit. But it wasn't a robbing. And plus, people say, oh, they set it up. Can't really say it set up when Ramos was the A side. He's the up and coming dude. Lubin was pretty much out the window. Lubin was about to be fed to everybody. That's pretty much the way he was. I give Lubin all the credit in the world for the tough fight he's been in. He's been in tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. So I didn't think he was going to get past Ramos. I really didn't.
The only thing you could have done to score that fight in favor of Ramos if you all you did was score based on aggression. like moving forward, even though it wasn't effective. That's the only way in my mind you could have scored a lot of those rounds for Ramos. That was it.
That's the key.
But when he pumped that jab, he won those rounds. He won those rounds easily.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna knock. I thought he was gonna end up knocking out Erickson Lubin. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I had him. I had before the fight. My pre-fight prediction was Ramos is going to win with a stoppage of probably right around like 9. That's what I thought was possible to happen. You know.
But at the end of the day, I respect everybody's scorecard because I know some other people have different scores, and that's perfectly fine. It's all subjective at the end of the day.
It definitely is. Now,
So
Joe A got a good point. That Ugas and Barrios fight was a great fight. Damn good fight.
Didn't see that one coming. Now I had trying to remember how I had this one scored because I was actually putting down the round numbers.
Oh,
But I had
Barrios had that.
I had Barrios beating the brakes off of him. Honestly, that stick is what messed up his eye. That right eye.
Yeah.
And he had nothing for Barrios, man. Barrios looked real sharp right from the beginning. Dropped Ugas twice. Ugas being out of the ring for so long couldn't have helped. But he had nothing for Barrios. And I think to me that's a sign.
Looked big as hell too.
I think that's a sign where if you think about Gervonta Davis and his performance against Barrios, then I think Barrios' performance last night against Ugas elevates Tank, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Now, that'll be an interesting matchup with Barrios if Barrios were to fight Boots. If Boots can't get this fight for the Mando for IBF, that'd be an interesting fight. I got Boots in that, but I mean, it'll be a great. I think it'll be a good scrap because Barrios looked good and that good last night. He looked good. Yeah, Richard Paris. I didn't expect those knockdowns on Ugas neither, because he caught Ugas and Ugas like he just one of them he went down like he got struck by lightning the way he went down, you know. But Ugas, I give Ugas all the credit in the world. Just he's a tough ass dude the way he fights through stuff. He's tough. Number of respect for him on that.
Yeah, he's tough. What else we got, Jay?
Let's see here. So Steven Espinoza talks about he talks about Showtime going out of business, you know, because they've been going out of business for the last 39 years before they've been in business and stuff. So he talked about that a little bit, saying they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. He's just not going to really kind of dismiss and not really address those rumors about that. So
yeah, it was a answer non-answer from Steven Espinoza. I know what I've been told in regards to that, and there are a number of other people that have heard the exact same thing. And I think how do I frame this, man? I think there's truth through those rumors, man. That's why I was so willing to bet Tunnel Vision. This should be one of his favorite topics here. Definitely, I will be getting a free lunch off Tunnel Vision when it all happens. But again, when you think about Paramount and their performance over the last 2 quarters, and you compare that performance to last year, and you think about the merger and just how business works in general, man, you're going to look at your low-performing, low-margin products, and those are going to be the first things you axe. And live sports is definitely something that people are interested in, but I'm not so sure if it's live boxing, and I don't know what their profit margin has been on those fights. But it's not like they're getting out of boxing altogether. I think it's more so they're getting out of show boxing and then just boxing on Showtime in general. I think they may still dabble in pay-per-views or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. There go Tunnel Vision. I knew this one was going to get him to say something. He addressed it in the same way he does for years. No truth in it at all. Okay, we're going to see, Tunnel. We're going to see. We are going to see. Jay, any other thoughts on that? You got quiet.
Nah, I mean, It was a nothing burger the way he answered. He answered the way he always answers it, so that's expected from him on that.
Yeah, Tono,
But,
I'm definitely making assumptions that it's low performing. I absolutely I am, because I know DAZN's product is low performing, and I think certain fights on Showtime is probably low performing. There's no way to see that because they don't break down their P&Ls in that manner to see that. But we'll see, dog. Like, there's a reason why I'm saying it. I'm not saying it for no reason, my brother. And there's a reason why I'm saying it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Brian S. got his wrench. This Gregory Quattlebaum. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. Quattlebaum. Good evening, gentlemen. Charlo blew it. I would love to come on live with you too. Showtime may merge into Paramount. Okay. We'll definitely be opening up the phone lines here soon, so you'll get the opportunity to speak on it.
Hey, Indian God, I ain't gonna. That's one thing. Bomac, I ain't gonna spar with Bomac. I don't do that. Nah, he's a professional. Despite his record and whatnot, he's still a professional. And we in two different weight. We in way different weight classes. So nah, but it was definitely more entertaining than Mel Canelo last night. I'll tell you that much. I put in more work than that. At the very least.
NHA Tube says that's why it's Paramount, Showtime, PBC needs to put on the best product. And at this point, ain't no bigger fight than Canelo versus Bud. So Canelo, anything with Bud.
What I'm wild about, man.
Anything about Bud. I think Bud, anything Bud related, like, will save humankind. Like, there's Bud saves boxing, Bud beats everybody in the sport, Bud. Okay.
Hey, man. I got Bud beating a grizzly bear. He'll put them things on that grizzly bear, Greg. You doubting Bud, man.
So let me read what Tonovision said. Going to have to change your name to Greg Banana in the Tailpipe. DAZN made major minor cuts in boxing. I think you're saying minor cuts in boxing. Showtime increased that what they spent. And when is Top Rank going out of business with ESPN cuts? That's a fair question with the ESPN cuts. I actually agree with that one. It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening if Disney actually sells ESPN. So that's an interesting take.
That'd be interesting. Whoa,
but remember, you said that the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight was never going to get made either. You used the same terminology, banana in the tailpipe, and I told you that I'm hearing that fight is going to be made, or if it's already signed. So remember that. Remember,
I can tell you a big fight for Canelo. If David Benavidez handles Bubu Andrade in November, that'd be a bigger fight for Canelo in March and in May next year.
I got a better idea. If Terence Crawford wants a fight with Canelo Alvarez, he's never done anything at 168 pounds. So he needs to move up and prove himself at 168, similar to what these other fighters have to do, right? So how about he moves up and face Morrell, or he moves up and face Benavidez? That's who he should move up and fight. Like, prove yourself at 168. How do you skip the line of everybody else at 168 to get the opportunity for Canelo Alvarez? That makes sense. You got to come up there and prove yourself. Beat one of those fighters. Beat Morrell. Beat Benavidez. And then all of us will be on board to say, hey, we're behind you, Terence Crawford. Jay, what do you think about that?
I mean, he ain't doing that. He ain't going to do that because Bud wants one fight for undisputed.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that the argument can be made that he needs to actually prove himself at 168. And why does he get to skip the line? He's not a champion at 160 where he can force a WBO super champion mandatory status. So why should he just move up and get an opportunity for undisputed at 168? What has he done there? He hasn't done anything at 54, 60, or 68. So why the hell should he move up and get an opportunity directly at Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, that's for me. Is that the weight jumping up that many weight class, skipping that many folks, especially a mandatory that would be either Boo Boo or David Benavidez. That's a bit much. Now, if it was at 154, okay, maybe even 160.
Green print, Boogeyman, Black Fighter versus Top Mexican. Yeah, I
Manolo, no one wanted Charlo versus Canelo anyway. We never agreed with that fight. So that shouldn't have happened either, in my opinion. I've been wanting Canelo faces mandatory at 168 from the get go. That's what I've been wanting. So Mel shouldn't have been able to skip the line either.
No,
And his second fight, whoever he fights next, if it's not the winner of Boo Boo and David Benavidez, it damn sure shouldn't be Jermell Charlo. That shouldn't happen either.
I agree with
you.
No
one it's undisputed versus undisputed bullshit. No one wanted
Charlo shouldn't have gotten that opportunity. And now that he's gotten it, we saw what the performance was. I really feel like at the end of the day, he definitely shouldn't have gotten that opportunity. And that actually proves more so why Terence Crawford shouldn't get the opportunity, because weight classes matter. Moving up 2 weight classes matter. And even though I think Terence Crawford would do a much better job at 168 than Jermell Charlo, because I truly do believe when he says he's different, that's true. This is where all the salt I'm going to let you guys know right now. I'm throwing salt. I don't want him to get an opportunity at anything. If he's moving up to 168, prove who you are at 168. Fight David Morrell. Fight Benavidez. Yeah, fight Boo Boo. Fight anybody up there. And then once you beat them, take out one of Canelo points. Just like all Canelo fans used to say, like, no, go fight so and so and so before you fight Canelo. Same with Terence Crawford. Go fight. Yeah. Go. Jay. Salt.
Hey, y'all know at least we can admit our shit, though. We admit our shit.
I don't want him to get nothing. Nathan.
It's not a fact that I don't want it. For me, it's not a fact that I don't want him to get anything. For me, it just hasn't made sense as far as the people that's been waiting in line at that weight class. If it was 154, it's only one weight class. I get it. He can petition for that. But going up 3 weight classes when there's a viable appointment. Now, if there wasn't anyone worth a damn for him to fight at 168, meaning Canelo, I'll say, hell yeah, why not? But there are people that's worth it at 168 for Canelo to fight. Mm-hmm. That's my issue. If there's at 160, okay, who cares? Because no one's really at 160. There's no one that's banging it like that at 160. But at 168, you got people there that have been waiting. And I really think that David Benavidez sells more. If David were to win against Boo Boo, it sells more versus Canelo instead of a Canelo versus Bud. It's actual even weight classes. It's a Mexican holiday in May. It just makes the most business dollars and makes the most business sense to me for that to happen then.
Yeah, look. So Tunnel Vision basically just said what I said. Charlo performance also killed Crawford's chances of getting that Canelo fight. That's just literally the argument that I just made in terms of if we just saw how Charlo moved up 2 weight classes, why would we want to see a guy move up 3 weight classes and maybe have a similar performance? Although I think Crawford would be different still. And plus, I'm just a salty bitch. So let's see what else we got here. Santos says, appreciate you all for standing your ground and giving a fighter critique. Man, if you talk about a fighter, particularly those of the culture, you receive hate. Keep up the work. Appreciate you, bro. Crawford still has Spence problems. Facts. He still got to get around that.
Hey, Manolo. Yeah, people were talking about Spence fighting Canelo, but it wasn't us. We didn't want that fight neither.
Yeah, we never wanted that fight. I thought Spence lost. I thought he would lose that fight too.
Yep.
Oh, Mike Mattingly, what's going on with you, bro? Canelo said he wasn't in the plans right now. Maybe Bud should realize and either rumble boots or vacate and grab something at 54, further solidifying his legacy. Facts. He's not in the plans. But Mike, I've been saying that before Canelo even said that last night. Like, why would they put him in the he's trying to talk his way into that fight. He believes that he has a profile, a cachet, such that if he talks about the fight, he could actually create enough buzz for it. You can't. You don't have that level of cachet. And it's no knock to him. I'm not being salty on this one. In this particular case, he doesn't have the cachet to talk that fight into existence.
Yeah. And his own ex-promoter said he'll get washed.
Let's go there. Let's go there. Bob Arum, go there. Go ahead, Jay.
So they asked Bob about how he felt about Bud moving up to fight Canelo. He's like, he laughed at it. He's like, Canelo will wipe the floor with Bud. It's just too much. That's a lot. It's not like a small guy moving up to fight a guy that's not a good boxer or a good fighter. It's a very damn good small fighter moving to fight a very good big fighter.
Mm-hmm.
The advantage usually goes to the big fighter.
Facts.
Especially 3 weight classes. 3 weight classes is a lot, man.
It is. It's a lot.
I still stand by it. It's someone else's, other people at that weight class that are there. They're viable opponents. It's not like someone at 150, 160 where there's not really a lot of viable opponents up in that weight division. So, and Canelo's old, he's been ducking or just not fighting David Benavidez for whatever reason it may be. And it's time. That's with David beating Boo Boo, of course, in November.
So he said, Nunu said, Bob said a lot of things that wasn't accurate. Well, he said that Bud was going to be Spence, and I saw a lot of you guys grabbing hold to that, and it ended up being true. Have Bud did something personal to you guys? No, man. No. I actually I like Crawford. I like Crawford's style. I think he's a good fighter.
It's y'all. It's the Bud fans that did something personal, damn it. It's y'all. Some of y'all. That's who.
Yeah. My issue is more with his fans. No, not even his fans. I think some of them are just trolls. My issue is more about his trolls.
Yeah. Indian guy keeps telling me that they don't claim Terrence best videos, but you got to claim him as well. I'm sure Terrence will be calling in later on today too.
Facts, Mr. Vegas. We are talking 100% boxing, man. We don't say anything personal about Terence Crawford at all. It's all boxing. Crawford, a great fighter.
I don't know what Bud can do realistic to get the bag, to get a major bag. He's not gonna get another bag like he just got to fight when fighting Spence. Honestly,
are you answering Richard Paris' question or a statement?
Yeah. I
don't know. Spence is probably his biggest bag right now. Canelo's off the table, and Jermell is not a viable fight anymore. Gregory Quantum, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the $1. What does this say? No, we don't claim that at all. I'm not sure what you're talking about right there. I don't think Bud can hurt Canelo, and he will stay in harm's way. Facts. Like, if he can't hurt Canelo, all that counter punching stuff, because Canelo can counter too. That's a tough fight. It's a tough fight.
Exactly. That's a very tough fight. Now, also about that Canelo-Jermell fight, you know, another fighter trained by Derrick James didn't look so hot. That's 2 losses for Derrick James this year. Another lackluster performance when he had AJ. Lackluster performance when he had Frank Martin. Who's a BFR? Is this all on DJ, or is it, you know, can we put some of this on the fighters? Me, it's a little bit of both, but from what I'm hearing, because when we watch the fight, when we do the fight parties, we don't have the volume turned up, so we can't hear what Derrick is saying to the fighters in the corner.
Right.
So from what I've heard, though, it's what he was telling. I know what he was telling EJ. EJ wasn't doing. He was telling Frank. Frank wasn't listening. He was telling Mel. Mel wasn't listening. So that's what, he can't make the fighters fight, especially particularly in last night's fight. He can't make Mel fight. He can tell Mel what to do, but he can't make Mel fight. He didn't have a joystick and control and hitting the A buttons for him to throw a punch. So some of that's dealing DJ as far as some of the other one aspect, but you got to get put out on a fighter that's not throwing punches out there.
Yeah, I have a different take on it. I think Frank and Jermell were not DJ, right? Because to your point that you're making, you can give a fighter all the instructions in the world. If they're simply not executing the instructions that you're giving them, or they're in the fight to just survive, then it is what it is. You can't blame that on the coach, right? But the way that Errol lost, damn it, that's a team loss. When you look that bad in the fight, that's a team loss, my brother. Everybody's at fault with that loss. The cut man, the strength and conditioning coach, Derrick James, the doctor, everybody that was a part of that team. The way that Errol Spence lost, the dietitian, everybody's at fault for that loss, period. Gregory Quattlebaum, thank you again for the $5. If there is enough dollars for Bud versus Canelo, the fight will happen. Yes, if there's enough dollars, but you would need astronomical dollars to probably satisfy Canelo Alvarez and what he's already been promised. That's the problem, which means if the fight can do 600,000 pay-per-view buys, Canelo probably going to need like a 70 or 80% split. I don't think your boy going to be satisfied with that. And he has no grounds or means to basically force a better split than that. He has to take what Canelo gives him, period.
Yeah, and that's one thing we can say about Bud. Bud is going to stand firm on what he feels like he deserves, regardless of what we think or anyone else thinks. And I guarantee in this, Canelo's not going to give Bud what he feels he deserves, because Canelo calls shots against everybody and anybody.
Yeah, it won't be no. It's not
going to be a coin flip on who can walk out last.
It's not going to be no negotiation for months. Negotiating for months on end. Canelo's going to give you an offer. You're going to counter it. He's going to walk away. Just that simple.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bud and the whole Spence need to go ahead and get negotiated or said what's going to happen with that. So then everyone can move on from that. Spence can either go move to 154 and fight someone else, and Bud can try to figure out what he's going to do on his own accord as well. We know Bud still wants to be undisputed or try to be undisputed 3 times. So if he can't get the Canelo fight, take the fight from Thurman and fight Clarissa Shields and be undisputed 3 times. There you go. He'll have it. And I got him over Clarissa Shields too.
You a sick bastard.
What?
You a sick bastard. Clarissa Shields, man, she'll fight him. For sure. She won't keep Thurman.
Against Bud than Mel did against Canelo.
NH2 says, thank you for the $5, bro. Honestly, prefer Andre versus Canelo because my Cape Verdean heritage, but I know he will not fight him even after Boo Boo beats Benavidez. Probably not, because ain't no money in that fight either. Santos, my counter question. So if EJ had won in the same fashion, would everyone clamor for Canelo versus EJ as the money fight? I can't ever see Bud on Canelo's status level. I don't know if people would have clamored for it. It's probably more sellable than a Terence Crawford versus Canelo fight if EJ had won in a similar fashion, because EJ was already a bigger name than Terence Crawford. But I don't know how much of a springboard Errol Spence would have gotten by beating Terence Crawford either, in terms of his overall cachet and profile. And I don't think Spence is in the plans either for Canelo. So, or he wasn't in the plans for Canelo even prior to losing. So yeah, that's an interesting question though. I like that question, Santos. Yeah, Benavidez struggles with people who moves. The question is, will Canelo be able to move that many rounds in order to win the fight? That level of movement and boxing skills can give him problems.
Yeah, and plus Benavidez throw punches and bunches.
Absolutely. Jay, give me 1 second, man. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go use the restroom.
So for Bud to move up to be undisputed 3 times, I'm telling y'all, he should go ahead and take that Thurman Clarissa Shields back. He do that, he'll be good. Ain't no thing. He'll be making records for that. Ain't no hate on Bud. I'm not hating on Bud, guys. He training. Bud's a phenomenal fighter. Now, all serious talk. Bud wants to be undisputed 3 times. His only other option is to try to get the Canelo fight. So that's why he's pushing for it. But logistic and business standpoint, I don't think it's going to happen for him. Because that David Benavidez boo-boo, I feel like that's the mandatory that's going to be invoked in March of next year. So that has to happen. You know, but jumping up 3 fights, three weight classes, that's a lot. You know, now somehow, some way, Bud gets this fight with Canelo. That'd be some G shit. And I'll be on record right now. He's gonna give a hell of a fight, much better than Mel did. He's not scared. I've never said Bud was scared or anything like that. For me, what stopped me on Bud was the business dealings last year. That's what sold me on Bud. Guys, the only reason I want him to fight Boots, want Bud to fight Boots at 147. If Bud stays at 147, why shouldn't he fight Boots? That's the mandatory. That's the best fighter at 147 for him. And I'm not picking Boots to beat Bud. But that's the fight that should happen at 147. So how's that hate for me to say he should fight Boots at 147 if he stays at 147? Boots is mandatory. IBF mandatory. John Mack, I agree. There's no money in it. I'm saying who's the best fighter at 147 for him to fight.
Who are we talking about right now?
Who else you want to stay? If he stays at 147, who else is he going to fight at 147? Y'all tell me.
They don't care who it is, as long as it's not Boots. As long as it's not Boots, they don't care who it is.
And I've already addressed the fact that it's not a money fight. We already said that Boots doesn't have the portfolio for a big money fight, but it's the best fight at 147. And again, I'm picking Bud to beat Boots at 147.
Easy Man says he's looking for greatness. Okay, well, go up and fight at 154 and see if you can unify there. There you go. He's not getting Canelo. Yeah, he's not getting Canelo. I don't see it being about like the money's like to the point that
exactly, Brian. That's exactly what I've been saying for the longest. But for some reason, people just hear that it's hate on Boot or hate on Bud. It's like, oh, you just want him to you just want Boots to try to beat him now. Nah, I just think that'd be a good ass fight.
All right, so Manilo says, Greg, who is they? True Bud fans would love to see Bud versus Boots. Yeah, I agree.
Well, you're in the minority. You're in the minority on that, Manolo. Indian God tripping. Augusto, it would make sense Charlo versus Bud, but Charlo ain't undisputed. He has 3 belts instead of 4. Tim Tszyu and Brian Mendoza fighting for the other belt.
So Easy Band official said Kaduko is scared of Bud. He's starting to sound more and more like Jermell when Bud came across. No, stop it. Like, Canelo's not scared of a 47-pounder moving up to 168. There's no money in the fight, dog. Like, he's not ducking somebody who's 3 weight classes below him. Man, stop.
So, Easy Bands, is Canelo ducking David Benavidez? Has he been ducking David Benavidez? I want you to keep the same energy. NH2, yeah. Oh, me personally. Oh, Q says he thinks Boot stops Crawford right now. Interesting.
Who said that?
Q says Boot stops Bud. I don't got that. Okay, at least you agree with that, Easy Man. But for Canelo be ducking Bud, this just came into discussion within the last month. Remember, Bud said, nah, he wasn't going to go up to 168 because they make weight class for a reason. He can only go no higher than 154, 160. Then it's a catch weight at 158. So he changed his mind like 3 times in 3 weeks. So how can you say Canelo's ducking Bud now all of a sudden?
Yeah, so guys, the phone lines are open right now if you're ready to call in. And also, we got 113 people in the building, 36 likes. Smash the like button for us, guys, so people can find the content. And go ahead and give us a call. Yeah, I believe we probably have other topics.
You're right. What's up?
I believe we probably have other topics, but I don't know, man. Seems like the chat is really focused on Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Easy Band says, why y'all acting like Mayweather wasn't 146 pounds and Canelo was 160 when they fought? What does that have to do with anything? So what? It's not like, okay. Sean Porter is out of his mind, Jay. That fight last night was not a robbery versus Ramos. Sorry.
Last night was not a robbery.
What's going on with your 301? You in the building with Greg and Jason.
Hey, how y'all doing, fellas?
Doing well. Hey, can you cut down your volume?
Yeah, listen, I have sent some messages to you all before. We were talking about the the Spence Crawford rematch. And I think you all responded as well, because I've watched our show a couple of times, and it's a great show, and I'm happy that I found you all.
Thank you.
I had said that there were some other stipulations that I had heard about, so all of it's going to be assumptions, as you know. That Spence has a chance to win back his titles if he went back down to 147. That was my argument, and the way the contract was supposedly written. However, if Spence had have won, Terence would not have had a chance to win back his titles, because the way the contract was supposedly written, you have to give notification that you can't make the weight at 147, so you're going to make the weight at 154. Since the fight is still guaranteed, it's wasn't necessarily guaranteed at 147 unless one fighter didn't, put in the written stipulation. So I'm thinking that the reason why Terence, if he was supposedly holding up the fight, and I don't think he's really holding up the fight, but that's the only money fighting that I think he's going to have immediately. So, of course, he was going to try to use that stipulation to get more money out of this rematch, because it would just make sense from a business point of view. I didn't think Charlo was going to win, but I also don't think Charlo and Crawford will be fighting anytime soon. Could still happen. I would love to see that. And I'm a big Crawford fan. Been a Crawford fan forever. I think going up to 168 for Terence is a really, just as I said, a bridge too far for him. He's too small. He ain't going to get no taller. And that 168 pounds, even though it would be put on as best it could, it's going to weigh him down. He's not going to be able to do anything with Canelo at that weight. I mean, Terence has a history of going from 130 to 135, 35 to 40, 40 to 47. So he has experience of putting on that muscle mass, but there is a limit to any man, especially somebody who's 5'8". So I don't think, I think it's great that he's thinking about the 168. It sounds good. It's a good aspiration to have. But I think even if he got the fight, and that's a long shot, as y'all just said, and I believe it as well, because it probably won't be enough money if, I don't know who's going to put up that much money. I just think that he would have to do what Ray did when he went up to 175 that one time to fight Donnie Lalonde. He won, but, they was already calling Ray an old man, and he didn't look that good in some of those rounds either, but he did win the fight. But for Terence, I think a beast like Canelo, you need to be a little bit taller to carry that weight. That's my opinion about it. But in terms of the fight, getting back to him and Spence, that was just that clause was put in my opinion. It benefits Spence. Terence can say, well, I can't make 154. Well, I guess we can't do the fight then, because that's how it would probably have to go if you're not going to do it, because Spence would have won. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to get in, because like I said, I had written to you all in the comments, and y'all did respond back. Also, y'all are the first guys who said my last name right as well. So thank you for doing that. Well, I don't never try to correct anybody, but y'all just did it right. So that's all I wanted to say about it, man. I think I like y'all show. I've seen it a handful of times, and what I will do is, from time to time come on y'all show, because I go on 2 other shows as well, and I see some of the people in the comments who are some of the other shows that I have as well, so they'll tell you that I'm a diehard Spence fan as well. Some agree, some disagree, but I like how you all present your viewpoints of view. I want to see y'all win as well, because y'all are part of the new frontier in terms of how boxing is now getting to the public. So I want to see all you guys. I'm an older guy, so I want to see all y'all guys do your things, and y'all are two of a few who are really doing it, I think, the right way. You're talking about the business of boxing. You're talking about boxing. It's not a whole bunch of name calling and we gonna do this to you and and I like that. For me at least, I like that. So I just want to show some appreciation to you all and wish you well. And hopefully I'll get a chance to call you again. Make some comments, send you a couple of dollars and so forth. So y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. And I just want to let you know, older guy like myself, appreciating seeing young guys come into a sport that's helped a whole lot of us guys. A whole lot. We might not, I boxed when I was young, but what I learned and how it helped shape me as a man is doing the same thing for a whole lot of other guys. So y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. That's all I really wanted to say to you.
Appreciate you for calling in, my brother. Thank you so much.
Same thing for a whole lot of other guys.
All right. Man, that was a great call, man. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, it was. Feel good.
Absolutely. So we had somebody else call in. We missed 2 calls, 210-678. Call back. But, yeah. We got them already calling in. 210 already calling back in. 210, you in the building with the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. What's going on with you? Hello? 210, you there? Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear the caller. Is that Mario Barrios calling in from San Antonio right there?
I don't know what's going on. It's doing something weird. Hey, try to call us back. I think it's doing something kind of funky here. Okay, call us back.
Same
Hey, can you hear us? Yeah. Can you hear us?
Can't hear him neither.
I cannot hear him at all. Jay, you hear that, right?
Yeah, I hear the ringing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I can't. For whatever reason, we can't hear you. I don't know if it's on our end or somebody else's end.
Yeah, Mr. Day, I agree with you. It's like Benavidez is the only fight for Canelo next. That's one I want.
Hello? Maybe this is on our end, Jay, because I can't hear this person either.
Hey, Brian has someone we are trying to reach you about your car warranty.
I can't hear the person at all, man. Sorry, man. I for whatever reason we can't hear you. I don't know if something changed by accident. You there?
Hey, BL, trust us, man. It wasn't something that we wanted to do when we went off Mel in that video.
Hello?
Just
what the hell is going on here, Jay? Why can't we hear anybody?
We just try to keep it real and keep it fair on everybody. We didn't like the way, Daniel Dubois went down, didn't go on his shield. A controversial blow with
Can you hear us?
Low blow with Usyk, but I can't hear him either. I hear the other caller trying to beep in, but I don't hear the caller.
Yeah, I can't hear him for some reason.
Easy Man said he just tried to call. He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, let me try to figure it out real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
hello.
Going on about Mel wasn't something that we wanted to do. We expected more from him. We expected Mel to actually lose still. We still were picking Canelo to win that fight by knockout either 9th or 10th round. But we thought Mel would put up a better show. Hey, Brian, it's easy calling from a burner.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, I refreshed it. How you doing, Adrian?
Hey, how you doing, bro? How you doing, man? Good to talk to you both. Hey, so what do you guys think about the fight last night, man? What do you guys think, man? Because, you know what? I was real disappointed in Charlo, man. I mean, that was a waste. I mean, hate to say it, man, because I hate to mess up the guy's finances, man, but that fight was not worth it, man. I mean, that just wasn't worth it. And now you know why Canelo picks to fight these guys, these cherry picks, whatever, because, to be honest with you, I mean, I didn't like Charlo's whole vibe coming into this fight. I just didn't like it. And And you know the way I'm about Canelo, man. I don't like the way that he be pulling that shit, by ducking Benavidez. You know what? He has to step up to the plate and fight David finally. I mean, David's got to get past Doo-Doo, of course, and Boo Boo. But after that, man, it's got to be on and popping because Canelo thinks that he's a shit right now. After the fight, he's talking all like he's this, he's that, and he'll fight anybody and Arriba Mexico, cabrones, and blah, blah, blah. But come on, man. He's got to step up to the plate and fight Benavidez, man. So I was just very disappointed in the way Charlo fought, man. And I don't see Charlo's career really going forward anymore because I'm never going to pay to see him ever again. I just won't, man.
That's what ends up happening when you go in there and you have that type of performance, and that's the reason why you have to critique it and be critical of that performance. People want to dismiss people who are saying that performance was unacceptable and say, well, you've never been in the ring, you shouldn't say anything, or it's easy to say sitting from your couch or your desk or whatever. No, man, these are the people who pay your bills. So yes, their voice do count. Totally agree with you.
Yeah. And like to me, it just seemed like as if Charlo was just trying to just get through the fight. He had no intention on winning the fight. I mean, honestly, I think that if he would have took some chances, I'm not going to say that he would have beat him, but he sure as hell would have made the fight a lot more entertaining. Because I was just disappointed the whole fight. Me and my brothers were watching it, and I'm just like, man. I said, man, I told you guys that we should just chill out. I mean, just not even listen to it. And the fight was so boring that it was like, I mean. I literally was hoping that Canelo was going to knock him out just to get the fight to end. And I don't like Canelo, man. I don't like the way he's ducking people. You know how I am. But I mean, that's how bad that I wanted the fight to end. It was just that boring, man. So what do you think the chances of Canelo actually fighting Benavidez now?
I think those are going to be. So he said that Crawford wasn't in the plan, and we know that. So to me, like, it's got to be somebody else at 68. Like, I think Benavidez in May makes a lot of sense if he beat Andrade. So I think, honestly, I personally think that's going to be the fight. My opinion.
That'd be a big money fight, man.
I think that's the fight.
Big. That'll be a big money fight, actually. I'm telling you now, all the Latinos will go for it. And it's like, you know, I think pretty much. I mean, you know what like the Americans are. You know, they pretty much support Canelo blind. A lot of them support Canelo blindly. A lot of people that I know don't, though. You know, they just don't because they're getting tired of that shit. But to see Canelo actually fight Benavidez would be a real big fight, actually, and I think everybody would go for that one, you know. But Crawford fighting Canelo, I don't see really. I mean, from the people that I know, I don't see no demand for that. I don't really see nothing. Where I mean, people will probably watch it, but there's going to be really no big hype for that because of the fact that you would see Canelo fighting two guys in a row that are a lot smaller than him, and that kind of really make him look bad, you know.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why Canelo is probably not going to be interested in a fight. And we mentioned earlier today, or earlier in the stream, that when you think about Mel's performance, that not only ruined it, in my opinion, for Maul, but I also think it ruined it for Terence Crawford. Because although I think Terence Crawford would move up to 168 pounds and perform better than what Jermell did, still, the narrative is there. Like, why are you fighting another guy moving up not only 2 weight classes, but now 3 weight classes? And so unless Canelo is getting paid an exorbitant amount of money, there is absolutely no reason for him to do that, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I think that Bud's a snake, actually, because what Bud's doing to Spence right now, he's willing to go up to fight three weight classes above to fight Canelo at 168, but yet he won't go to 154 and fight Spence. Even after Spence gave him everything that he wanted, the coin toss and 50-50, he did all that to help him out, to make him some money for his family, and he just turns into a snake and just is like, screw you, Spence, man. I'm going to fight you 147, take it or leave it, you know, period. I mean, he's totally draining Spence right there. So I don't like the way Bud's moving. I think that's dirty. I mean, what he's doing is actually legal. I mean, that's where the contract is, but it's dirty. Just to me, ethically, it's just dirty, man, because of all the things that Spence gave to him, you know?
I totally understand what you're saying.
I agree.
It's well within his right, but not necessarily honorable.
You're 100% right. 100% right there. Hey, man, I'll leave you guys on that right now. You got other callers. Just want to check in and touch base. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up. I want to send a shout out to my dad in heaven. Love you, Dad. My son Jeremiah. I love you, son. Appreciate you guys' time, man. You guys have a real nice day. Jason, Greg. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate your call, Adrian. Thank you.
Adrian.
All right, man. God bless, bro.
Later. 678. We saw you call in. 289 calling right now, though. 289. You in the building
Yep.
with the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. What's going on with you, fam?
Chilling, what's popping with y'all, man? It's easy.
Oh, it's Easy Bands. Easy Bands is in the building. What's happening?
What's going on with y'all, man? How's y'all day going?
It's going pretty good, man. I'm actually a little tired from that doggone fight last night, man. I was up late, but I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, it was
What's
boring
going on
as
with
hell,
you?
huh?
Huh?
Yeah, that fight was. The
I said
other
it
fight,
was
the
boring
other
as
fights
hell.
on the undercard were great though.
Undercard was good.
Yeah. I think with that fight, I think Mel just went in there for the paycheck, man. Like, it's the closest thing I've seen to a dive, bro.
Can't argue with it.
Because like when I was watching that fight, to be honest with y'all, man, like to me, Mel was quicker. You know, he had better movement. He had the size. Everything was there. Like in my mind, still thinking about it, Mel could have beat him if he just asserted himself. If he just tried to. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know if he was going to ever beat him.
About beat him,
honestly.
but more competitive for sure.
He could have been much more competitive in the fight. I said it all night. Like he had to punch with Crawford. Like, yeah, I'm not Crawford.
You mean Canelo?
With Canelo, he has to punch with Canelo, and he got to punch with Crawford too. Or Crawford gonna knock him out, but he had to punch with Canelo last night in order to be successful in the fight. He had to take chances, try to set traps to get Canelo to throw shots, and then try to counter his shots. He didn't do any of that. All he did was punch into Canelo's guard. So he played the safe.
He didn't do any of that. Yeah, you're right. He didn't do any of that. He didn't. You know how they say like sword fight or gouge or whatever. You know, he didn't do nothing. You feel me? Like it was times when, especially when the fight just started, and they come together in the middle of the ring, and he backs away, bro. You know, like Canelo backed away to like try to see, okay, what do you got for me? And Jermell just backs away too, and they just start circling each other for like 30 seconds. That's when I knew, like, man, Mel wasn't here to fight, bro.
Yeah,
and then it was other times.
Horrible.
It was other times where Canelo, you know what Canelo was doing? This was his whole strategy, and this is why I know Bud can beat him, bro. Because Canelo was just going in there with power punches, right? Now, those power punches take a lot from you. So Canelo would go in there, he'd stalk him, get close enough, like maybe throw like a little jab just for reach, and then throw one or two power hooks, you feel me? And then after that, Mel would run away, and then Canelo would be catching his breath, you know, for like 15 seconds, and then do it again. You feel me? So I know straight up, like, Bud, that wouldn't happen with Bud, you feel me? Bud would be countering those hooks, because, like, even when he was throwing those power hooks, all that kept on reminding me of was the Ryan Garcia and Tank fight, bro. You feel me? You know how Ryan was coming with those wild, like, power hooks, and the way Tank countered him? I seen that opening all day. And Jermell, he ducked under those hooks like once or twice, but, you know, his mind was defensive. It was never on some counter shit. But that's why I'm thinking, like, Mel could have beat him up, bro.
I'm going to tell you something, and this is where I keep struggling with people saying that Terence Crawford is just going to go out there and beat Canelo Alvarez. So I work out about four times a week. Jason, you know, and I be working out. Sometimes we were talking. Jason is a former trainer with some of the worst knees you ever want to see in your life. And what I've been doing here recently is putting on a weight vest. Putting on a weight vest, bruh. And the weight vest is 16 pounds, dude. And when I run with that weight vest on versus when I run without that weight vest on, there's a complete difference. I go run 2 miles and I look like a damn gazelle when I don't have on that weight vest. And when I have on that weight vest and I run, I'm okay, maybe not a gazelle, but man. So anyway, the point that I'm making is that I'm much slower when I have on that weight vest. So I'm not the same person with all that incremental weight on me. So the Terence Crawford that you see at 147, that ain't gonna be the same Bud with 21 more pounds on him, dog.
All
So
right,
you're thinking
this
about
is
you're
what I'll say to
lifting
that.
you're lifting Crawford, and you're literally just putting the same version of Crawford at 168. And I'm saying that won't be the same version of Crawford. He's going to be more stationary and more susceptible to that exact same attack that Canelo tried to impose last night. But not only that, Canelo's not going to fight Terence Crawford exactly how he fought this guy. They're two different fighters. So
I'll say this to that. The thing is that, Crawford is just like he's a beast, bro. He's not like a normal person. Dude can deadlift 400 plus pounds. You know what I'm saying?
And Elite Build is in a single bound.
What's that?
Elite Build is in a single bound.
Faster than a speedy locomotive too.
That's the way y'all be describing this dude, man.
But I'm saying though, like, even if you look at the fighters like a David Benavidez, Crawford is stronger than David Benavidez, bro. He's stronger than a lot of these fighters. You know what I'm saying? So like, it wouldn't be too much for his body to handle if he gained some pounds on it. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, you might have a point with, okay, he might lose a step or two. We don't know until it plays out, right? But I'm saying Crawford is so much quicker. His countering is so accurate. Like, bro, it's crazy to me how you guys don't see that Crawford could get in there and totally just make Canelo look like, like it was easy. And then what you guys would come on the next day talking about is, oh, Canelo was over the hill. Canelo was weight trained.
Facts.
That would be the story next, bro.
Yep.
Because
that's exactly the story I lay out.
What'd you say?
I said that's exactly the story I lay out. You're exactly right.
word for word, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, bro, like, it's so clear to me. Like, even watching the fight, it was times when I was so frustrated with Mel because I could see the openings, bro. And if I can see the openings, I know Crawford in there because, like, the way Crawford, like, does his thing, a lot of times you didn't even see the punch that he threw to knock the guy down, bro. You know what I'm saying? So to me, if Crawford gets the opportunity to get in there, it's going to be Mayweather. It's going to be Mayweather Part 2, but with a guy that can KO Canelo, bro. I'm telling y'all. And let's not forget, man. On fight day, Mayweather came in at 146 pounds. Canelo was like 160 plus pounds, bro. That's like a 15 pound difference.
I understand everything you're saying. I think number one,
But ain't Mayweather though.
Yes, Floyd's style of being able to fight out of a defensive posture and counterpunch out of defensive posture. That's not Terence Crawford. And so I get where you're going, but I don't see it. Now, if you believe that he's stronger than someone like David Benavidez, which is fine, you can wholeheartedly believe that if you want to. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Then why don't he move up and fight somebody like David Benavidez to kind of prove his worth? And then that way, that fight becomes more viable at that point. Or David Morrell. Go knock out David Morrell. Not everybody will be clamoring for a fight between he and Canelo Alvarez. To that, you say what?
That's a good point. I mean, that would work too. But, you know what I'm saying? Why go that route when we could go straight to number one?
He can't go straight to number one though, because the issue is there's not enough money in that fight now. Think about how Mel performed last night. He was so piss poor that now if you move a guy up 3 weight classes, no matter what you feel, like he can run faster than a locomotive, he can leap a building in a single bound. Okay, all of that is fine. But the general public don't know Bud, so they're not going to be interested in seeing that fight, right? But if he were to move up and show us that at 168, he is a viable threat to Canelo Alvarez, now all of a sudden you have a huge fight on your hands between the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world and somebody like Canelo Alvarez, which is, he's got to be ranked in the top 5, right? Becomes a mega fight. So Terence Crawford can make this a huge fight, but he got to actually take the risk in order to do so instead of trying to go directly to becoming undisputed. People are not really all that interested in seeing that fight. He's going to have to take a step first to make that fight something that's viable for the general public.
I disagree with everything you just said there, bro, because to be honest with you, for you to make a claim that nobody knows Terence Crawford at this point, bro, that's kind of crazy to me, fam.
No, I mean the general public. No, the general public. I'm not saying that nobody knows Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford he doesn't have like Mayweather appeal. Like Terence Crawford is still generally unknown by the general public. Yeah, he is. So is Errol Spence.
That right there, that changed though, fam. Like I could understand before the Spence fight, but after the Spence fight, that changed. He's the last person that had 650,000 pay-per-views. You feel me? Who else can Canelo fight that had that kind of pay-per-view sales, bro? There's nobody
with Spence
right now.
He had that with Spence. We need to see what he does on his own. I guarantee you, there's nobody. Hold on, I guarantee you, there's nobody at PBC that believes he can do 650,000 pay-per-view buys by himself.
It's a double standard when you say, oh, with Spence or with that or with this, because we have all these other fighters who we count their pay-per-view numbers, although they had a dance partner, fam. You feel me? Like all these guys, like Mayweather, when Mayweather, all of his fighters that he's fought, recently, had big names, bro, and that's why those fights were, looked at.
Hold on. I disagree with that. So
then you want to talk about his dance partner.
No. Berto was not a name that was going to carry a pay-per-view card. Juan Manuel Marquez was not a name that was going to carry a pay-per-view card.
Yes, he was.
No, not a million buys. Then why didn't he do a million buys prior to that with Pacquiao then? Because they had never done a million buys. They hadn't even done anything close to a million buys before he had fought Floyd Mayweather. Marquez was not a name. Most people didn't even think that fight was going to sell like that. It sold because of Floyd. Floyd is up here. Floyd is known by the general public. Terence Crawford is known by boxing fans, my brother. I'm sorry, but he is. That's just what it is.
So you tell me the Mexican crowd didn't come out for that fight? Let me ask you, who was buying Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-views, bro? Was it the black fans or
it was everybody. It was everybody. It was
the Mexicans, bro. I'm telling you.
It was black, white, Mexican. It was everybody.
Bro, that's the formula, fam. We all know that's the formula. Black fighter versus the Mexican fighter. You know what I'm saying? Fine. And the Mexicans come out. Even Floyd himself knows, bro. That's why he brought Carmel out. You feel me? Okay. With the Mexican crowd.
So let's say that's the case.
I think we digress.
But Floyd cachet is way higher than Terence Crawford. You guys got to stop putting this guy in a spot where he's not. He's just simply not that guy in terms of people knowing who he is. Like that. It's just the amount of money that's currently promised to Canelo Alvarez. Bud will have to come in there and take probably like a 90-10 or an 80-20 split. He gonna do that?
I think he'd take like a 25 or 30 split.
He ain't getting that.
Bud ain't taking that shit.
Why not? Why not though? Like
because of the amount of money that PBC has already promised Canelo Alvarez. That's the reason why the fight has to be big enough to actually pay him that money. I guarantee you, Mel took a split that was not very favorable at all, and Terence Crawford would have to do the same thing.
All right, you know what I'll say about that? We'll have to find out, after we get these pay-per-view numbers from the Mel Canelo fight. Mm-hmm. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
If after we get the pay-per-view numbers for the Mel and Canelo fight, then we can further discuss that part. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
All right, cool. But all right, so this is what I'm saying. Yeah, all right. I'm not saying that Bud is on Mayweather's level in terms of popularity or any of that. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is he's on that level, bro. Like, this is a legacy fight. Anybody that knows anything about boxing knows that Bud Crawford is pound for pound number one now. I mean, the Spence memes were viral, bro. People seen that shit. He came out with Eminem. People seen that shit, bro. Like, people know who Crawford is now, bro. He went on a media tour. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You said that your channel maybe doesn't show that, he's moving the needle or something like that. But, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't on YouTube maybe. But
let me that's the reason why I asked Jake Donovan specifically, because he is in another area of the business, the industry, to see metrics that I don't see. He is also saying that his cachet is maybe on the level of Errol Spence's today, and it's not like at a superstar type level. It's just not, dog. He's not a superstar. He's not.
So let's talk about that then. If we translate that, right? All right. So what did Caleb Plant and Canelo do? Pay-per-views.
What was it, like 600,000, Jay?
There you go. You know what I'm saying? There you go. But Bud Crawford just did 650 with, what do you call it? With Spence, man. So you can't say that, It's not one. It's not a money fight, or two, people don't know who Bud is, etc. Because he just came from hitting 650, fam.
But hold on,
I mean,
fam.
we know,
Fam, but hold on. In that fight, he got 25 million, right?
I'm not even sure how much he got.
I think he ended up walking away. I think both fighters ended up walking away with 25 million. The point is, and this is the part that you keep missing. Canelo is promised a paycheck that is so great that 650, 600 won't cut it right now. And the only way you will be able to get that is if Canelo gets a split that's so crazy that a fighter is not going to agree to it. That's my point.
But all right, so I don't get what you're saying. All right, so maybe clarify for me, because you're saying that he's been promised so much money that 650 pay-per-views, or a guy that just came, it's not worth it for him to fight a guy that just came from selling 650,000 pay-per-views. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that if he were to fight Terence Crawford today or in a few months, that fight is not doing no more than 650, 700, right? And the amount of money that they've promised Canelo today, Crawford would have to take a much lower payout than he got for Errol Spence in order to make that fight. Now, is Crawford willing to do that? That's the reason why Canelo keeps saying, if it makes sense. He's already said that he's not in my plans, but if it makes sense, then he would think about doing it. What is he talking about when he says, if it makes sense? He's talking about dollars.
So he's talking about money. You're right. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So he's talking about money, right? So
yes.
This is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying. I'm going to put it out there, bro. I'm saying that fight does over $1 million, bro.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Because, that's like
Bud?
pound for pound number one. Like, that's for, like, the king of boxing, bro. Like, it's this or nothing. Like, I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all making this shit sound like, let's dismiss it or whatever. Why don't y'all put Crawford up there, bro? Why don't you guys uplift the dude, bro? Why don't you guys make this fight, my dude? Like, this is a big fight, fam. It's a legacy fight. It's a fight that's gonna go down in history type shit.
Legacy fight for
and
Crawford.
we know Crawford is a live wire, bro.
I don't
Why
see
don't y'all
it,
want
bro.
to see this shit, fam?
No. I want to see the fight, but I'm saying that the fight would not sell 1 million. Like, it would not do 1 million buys. Like, listen, Mel just moved up 2 weight classes and gave us a stink bomb. Now you got a fighter moving up 3 weight classes, and regardless of what we say in terms of he got all these extraordinary abilities, people still are going to see a fighter moving up 3 weight classes, and everybody's going to be cognizant of that, man. Everybody that's making business decisions are going to be cognizant of that. So right now, in and of itself, Crawford moving up to 168, 3 weight class, man, what do you sell just because he was pound for pound? Everybody's going to know he moved up from welterweight. So that's why I keep saying, if Crawford were to move up to 168, fight David Benavidez, win, now you got a major fight on your hand, because Crawford has now shown that he is a viable option at 168 for Canelo Alvarez. And now you have a fight that'll do 1 million pay-per-view buys for sure.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. That's a good idea. You feel me? That could work as well. Put him in there with maybe like Boo Boo Andrade or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then push for the big fight with Canelo. But all I'm saying is, that fight can happen right now. Like, we have the story. We have the story behind the whole fight, Sam. Make it happen, to make it interesting to the fans. Like, we've seen in the past. Who was it? Was it Sugar Ray that fought not Hagler? Is it Hagler? Shit, the bald dude.
Hagler.
Yeah,
Hagler. Yeah. We had that fight, and like Sugar Ray looked like he was outsized, right? But he won that fight, didn't he?
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we have like fights like that in the past that we could lean to and put a story behind this and say like, this is this is a classic. This is a legacy fight. This is the best versus the best.
Can I ask you a question?
It's black versus Mexican, fam.
Can I ask you a question?
It's doing over 1 million. But go ahead.
Did they not have a great story between Canelo and Jermell Charlo, undisputed versus undisputed?
But Jermell is not Crawford, fam. Like, everybody knows that. Like, that's
no. We know that. We know that as true boxing fans. We know that. But to sell 1 million pay-per-view buys, you have to engage the general public. Terence Crawford does not have the personality that engages the general public. Now, I get that the fight, all the stuff with Spence, and it felt like it went viral to you, but I don't believe it went all that viral outside of the people who generally watch Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, those hardcore boxing fans. So
what are you basing that on? Are you basing that off the actual viral, the memes that actually went viral? Are you basing that off of that?
Yeah, you mentioned the memes that went viral. Like, yeah, they went viral amongst boxing fans. Did they go viral amongst the general public? Like right now, dog, I could go send you that. I'll send that meme to several people who I know don't watch boxing. I guarantee you, they won't be able to tell me. They're like, "Who is that?" Like you're giving these guys way too much credit, dog. They're not that big of names. Neither he or Spence are that big of names outside of, hardcore boxing fans, bro. That's why I didn't. This fight has been cooking for 5 years and it still didn't do 1 million.
They just did 650,000, fam. That's a lot. And if you take in and if you consider all the people that stole the fight, that didn't pay for the pay-per-view, that stole it, bro, the numbers are astronomical if you think about it. He just did 650,000. Who else just did 650,000 out here, bro? Nobody. Except from Canelo.
And you believe that anybody believes that Terence Crawford, dog, you gonna be in it for. We'll see. So Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, the rematch. If Terence Crawford, if Terence Crawford is the name that you say he is, right? Now all the people want to see Terence Crawford because he's so good and he's so engaging, and the casuals know him, and the general public know him. He should be able to do 1 million pay-per-view buys in the rematch, right? Because now everybody knows everything viral.
I guess Errol?
Yes.
Nah, fam. That one won't sell like that. You know why? Because of how Errol looked in the first fight, bro. And then after that,
but everybody wants to see Terence Crawford though. Everybody wants to see Terence Crawford. He just did 650.
Exactly, fam. But yo, it might do like I see the rematch doing like maybe 450, maybe 3. To be honest with you right now, but
I don't doubt. So you telling me Terence Crawford can move up to 54, face Tim Tszyu, and do 650?
Oh, against Tim Tszyu?
Yes.
I doubt it, man. Who knows?
So he can't carry a pay-per-view.
Who knows?
So he can't carry a pay-per-view like
that. The thing is that we don't have like a precedent, right? I can't really say at this point, because this fight just happened. He just went viral. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
The whole walkout thing.
I agree with you.
So like I can't really, I wouldn't be honest if I just said yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying as well. Like right now, there's nobody at PBC that would bet that Terence Crawford can sell like that with Canelo Alvarez. There's nobody because there's still no precedence for it because he's still the fight that he did do 650. It was with Errol Spence in a fight that had been cooking for 5 years.
But you think the Mexican crowd that comes out for the casual Mexican crowd that comes out for boxing fights, right? The guys that they like. You think those guys don't know who Crawford is, fam?
Yeah. So we just had Adrian on. Adrian is out in California. Adrian is Mexican or Mexican American. I'm not sure. Forgive me, Adrian, if I don't get that right. But he said the people out there who are of Mexican descent have no interest in that fight. The Mexicans want to see him fight Benavidez, bro. They don't care about Crawford. They care about Benavidez.
Let me say this. Yeah, Benavidez is a good fight. I want to see that fight too, right? We all want to see that fight. But this is the thing. Let me show you something, bro. The Mexicans are scared as hell, bro. They do not want Crawford in that ring with Cuz, bro. I'm telling you. They're scared. They already know, like, yo, it's going to be Mayweather Part 2.
You believe that if you want to.
That ain't Mayweather.
What's that?
He ain't Mayweather.
What's that?
He said Bud ain't Mayweather.
You said Bud and Mayweather?
Bud ain't Mayweather.
Oh, Bud ain't Mayweather. Man, Jason stays hating, man. But yo, I'm gonna let I don't know.
Come on, bro.
I appreciate you for calling in, Easy, man.
Yeah, word. Yo, salute to you guys, man. Keep doing y'all thing, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, cuz. We'll see you. We'll see you in the chat.
All right, peace. I'll be there. All right, one
later. Easy, man, boy. He working for Crawford, boy. He trying to get that Crawford move in now. Oh, 210 calling in.
That fight too.
210. We done got you back in the building, man. My bad. We had to refresh the line. What's going on with you, fam?
Yeah, I just hope you give me half the time you just gave that last caller. Happy Sunday, my friends. It's Jerry Soriano, your lender for life. Can you hear me?
Jerry, what's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, Jerry?
Hey, man. Hey, Greg, listen, first of all, welcome back, Angry Man Greg. You were starting to bore me being Mr. Nice Guy. Welcome back. I want that guy I was getting in heated conversations with. Welcome back, my friend. But, hey, listen, that last caller, he just stole a lot of my thunder, but I want to chime in on your video this morning. I think you're 100% correct. So I'm going to give you some good news. I do agree with you on everything you said.
Yep.
Now, I am a Charlo fan. I was very disappointed. But let me tell you where I'm disappointed. Not necessarily in his performance, because he could have had some excuses. Hadn't been in the ring in a year and a half. Weighing up 14 pounds. He could have said he was sluggish. He could have downright said, you know what? I went in there. I didn't feel myself. I felt a little slow. And then when I felt Canelo's power, I knew this wasn't going to be a good night. So I just, fought conservatively. And when I saw my chances, I took it. But I wasn't going to get hurt because I knew I was going to go down in weight. He could have said something like that. That could have been well respected. But here's where Charlo went wrong. How he was acting on the way to the fight was out of character. So when you combine how he was acting in the All Access, in the conferences, and everything else before the fight, and then you look at his performance, it looks like he just came to get a check. That's the problem I have with Charlo, and I'm so disappointed because, honestly, the guy had a great career. I thought he took on all comers. Him, Benavidez, and Crawford were like the three guys that I was like, man, they're keeping boxing alive because they're ready to take on all comers. But he kind of ruined himself, man. I hope he just comes out and tells the fans to forgive him. And I think he can redeem himself at 154, but he's going to have to come back and probably knock out Tim Tszyu. He's going to have to do something dramatic. Mm-hmm. All right? However, you hear me so far?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, Greg and Jason, I gave you guys a lot of kudos after the Spence fight because you guys came out where everyone else was hiding, and you took it on the chin and you kept on moving. But for God's sakes, will you just admit you don't like Crawford? I mean, just admit it. Listen, Greg, how in the hell? Canelo just did 500,000 with John Ryder. He did 700,000 with Caleb Plant. Mm-hmm. There is no way in hell that him and Crawford don't do over $1 million. Book it.
No.
I'm telling you right now. Book it. And we need to stop talking about what Crawford makes. Get out the guy's pocket. Trust me. We're so tied up. I have never heard anyone be so tied up into a man's pocket and what he's going to make. Let them figure it out. That fight's going to make money. Now, if you're thinking that Crawford's going to want this extraordinary amount of money, what the hell did Charlo just make? What did Charlo just make that was so big that he basically took a dive? Don't tell me 10 million, because he made 10 million before. What number could have been so big that Charlo was just like, F it all, man. I'm diving. I ain't taking no chances. What kind of money do you think Charlo made for this fight?
I have no idea what money Charlo made for this fight, but the reason why I make the comment about the reason why I made the comment about Terence Crawford is because Terence Crawford just got $25 million. He's also been known to be very, very, very difficult in negotiation. You're talking about Caleb Plant, a true 168-pounder. But we just saw Mel move up 2 weight classes and bomb. Now you want Terence Crawford to move up 3 weight classes, and somehow that's supposed to be more intriguing than the guy that was moving up 2 weight classes, and somehow
we're talking about well known. You just got off the phone talking about nobody knows who Crawford is. I mean, I'm asking you a question.
General public.
How Caleb Plant and Canelo did 700. John Ryder and Canelo did 500.
Okay. And you got a guy, and they are. I don't know why this is being missed. They are legitimate 168 pounders. Nobody is interested.
Matter.
Yeah, it does matter. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. The Mexican public said they don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it, Greg. You don't want to see it.
It's not just me.
You don't have to buy it.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
But if you get out of the bubble, Joe Rogan is on the other line saying, "Hell yeah, we love Crawford over here." So, when Crawford was going on the media tour, and you get out of the YouTube bubble and you go on to mainstream media, they know who the hell Crawford is. They know who the baddest man in boxing is right now.
So you think so?
Hang on.
Go
For
ahead.
months and months and months. Hang on. For months and months and months, we had to sit here and talk about Spence being the eye collector, the phone wrecker, the destroyer, the monster. I sat here and said, hey, are there any excuses come July 29th? And y'all were like, no. He wiped the floor with your boy.
Okay.
Wiped him out. Wiped him out. He is not looked upon as someone that can't sell, that nobody knows. His performance was such a masterpiece. Such a masterpiece. Anybody in combat sports knows who the hell Crawford is today. He ain't the same guy from last year. That you guys were dragging through
Hold up.
Different animal now.
Hold on.
Acknowledged
You said
as
something.
the best fighter in combat
sports. People in combat sports. No, you said people in combat sport knows Terence Crawford. I agree with you. The general public is still Terence Crawford is not an engaging person. I'm sorry, he's not.
Okay. Do you think Tank Davis is the new face of boxing?
Terence Crawford?
Tank Davis. Is he the new face of boxing? I've heard you say it.
He might be. If it's either him or Canelo Alvarez.
You have not heard Tank Davis is new face of boxing? You have not said that yourself?
He is the new face of boxing, arguably, yes. The only other person that's an argument is Canelo Alvarez. Yes, that's what I've said.
Why is Tank Davis the new face of boxing?
Because of the pay-per-view numbers that he just did.
What pay-per-view numbers?
What are you talking about? The 1.2 million he just did. What are you talking about?
Okay, what did he do before that? Because obviously who he fights makes no difference, right? Canelo did $500,000 with John Ryder. Do you know what Tank Davis did with Pitbull Garcia? Do you know what those numbers look like?
They're probably about 200 in the twos.
Hell no.
Yeah, they were.
They didn't even make 100,000. Hell no. Hell no.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you go about regulation. That's not true.
Greg, he did not. Listen, Espinoza said that Tank Davis versus Rolly did almost 200,000, and that was the biggest pay-per-view number Tank has had in his career. And then he sells 1.2 million with Ryan Garcia, and now he's the face of boxing? Are you kidding me?
So using your argument, now that Terence Crawford has done 650,000 pay-per-view buys, all of a sudden he's the biggest name in the sport of boxing. Using your same logic, it makes no sense. You just countered your own argument.
We're talking about popularity. Is Tank Davis engaging a personality?
Way more than Terence Crawford. You'd have got the angry Greg back now. I'm back. Way more than Terence Crawford.
Get out of here. Please stop. Tank Davis is not an engaging personality, man.
Neither. You think Terence Crawford is an engaging personality? Stop it.
I'm not telling you that. I am telling you that times have changed. And y'all need to get on the bus, man, and stop trying to keep this man down. For no goddamn reason. It's not
Nobody trying to keep him down.
Get in the boxing ring and puts on a great performance. He is taking people out. He is not boring.
And we gave him his props.
Why do you keep trying to keep this man down, man?
We ain't trying to keep Terence Crawford down just because we don't agree with what he says.
God.
I don't think that's a big fight. I don't. I'm entitled to that opinion.
Listen. Nobody wants to see the Canelo fight, but yet every goddamn reporter asked Canelo about Crawford, but nobody's interested in that fight.
And so what?
Nobody.
So what? So
Nobody's
reporters
interested
asking
in
him
the
that.
Crawford fight.
So
Canelo can't
reporters
stop
asking him that means that translates to the pay-per-view
What
buys.
I'm trying to tell you is that listen, if you start a narrative, at some point you got to know when to say when. And at this point, you got to stop keeping Crawford down, man. The man is here to stay. Whether it's 2-3 more fights, appreciate his career before it's over. Stop trying to keep the man down, bro. Be honest with yourself.
Santa Cruz, Santa Cruz did.
Y'all cannot stop. Y'all cannot stop trying to keep this man down.
Your pay-per-view numbers are off. Rolly Romero, hold up. Rolly Romero did 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Hector Garcia did 200.
So
all the numbers that matter are the numbers that you say. The only numbers that matter are the numbers that you say. Okay. I'm looking it up.
You're getting the same stats. Listen. You tell me that your YouTube analytics say that Crawford is not popular. Crawford is the most talked about boxer on goddamn YouTube. What are you talking about?
Oh, Jesus Christ. So are you a content creator? Are you a content creator? Hold on. Are you a content creator? Do you have access to YouTube analytics? If no, then I don't want to hear you talking about who he is. He's not.
Your analytics are tainted, brother. There is not a more talked about name on YouTube than Crawford, whether you hate him or you like him. Then you talk about that he's only popular when his name is tied to Spence. Spence is done, brother. He's done. You talking about Crawford Canelo. Then you were talking about Crawford Charlo. Then you were talking about Crawford and Tank. Then you talk about Crawford just because he's Crawford. Crawford content, it's what drives whatever you guys put on. You put Crawford's name on the top of your video, you're gonna get clicks. The hell with Spence.
Hey, Jason, is that true? Is that true, Jason? Is that true? The videos that are just about Terence Crawford, do they do any numbers?
They don't do numbers unless it's time.
They don't fucking do numbers, dog. Don't come on here and tell me what do numbers.
Who does numbers? Who does numbers?
Spence still do numbers.
Nobody wants to hear about Spence.
No, you don't want to hear about Spence. No, you don't want to hear about Spence.
You don't even talk about Spence.
What are you talking about?
Talk about Spence.
Jesus Christ. We just did a video on. We just did a video on Spence. Hold up, we just did a video on Spence and Frank. It did 33,000 views. Terence Crawford, if his name ain't tied to Errol Spence, doesn't move. It doesn't.
Brother, you're
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna argue that. If you can tell me another boxer that is more mentioned than Crawford in YouTube, please tell me who.
Errol Spence.
With Crawford and Spence, brother.
Errol Spence.
That Spence talk is over. Nobody's even interested in Crawford Spence.
Errol
Who the hell
Spence.
wants to talk about Spence?
Errol
Who wants
Spence.
to talk about Crawford and Spence?
Errol
What is there to talk about?
Hey. Wait. Jerry, wait till Spence talks and when we put a video out and see how many views it do. And then I want you to bring your ass back on here. I want you to bring your ass back on here because the first time he says anything, I guarantee you that video does 30,000 views. Easily. You're not a content creator, bro. You don't know.
Listen, Greg, you don't know my background. Number one, you don't know my background, and I think I know a little bit more than you think. Okay? Matter of fact, I know more than you think. You can Google me and you'll find out. All right?
I'm going to Google you, Jerry. And we're going to talk after this call, too.
No, hang on. I'm going to give you an example. You guys put up a video regarding the contract that, here we go. Crawford he's trying to, I don't know what he's trying to do now. Crawford is talking about what's actually in the contract, right?
Is he?
He's saying that you had to write in and give a reason why you couldn't make the weight. Oh, that sounds fishy. Oh, that sounds crazy. But then when you hear Espinoza talk, Espinoza doesn't even, he gives you nuances. He goes, well, the fight could be 2024, the beginning or the end, or you know what, the spirit of it. You can't say this and then 6 months later take. What are you talking about, Espinoza? Number one, I thought, just like when we talked about the weight issue, that the rematch had to take place by the end of the year. Yes or no?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Does the interview have to take place by the end of the year?
Did the rematch have to take place by the end of the year? Yes or no?
The rematch is supposed to take place by the end of the year. Yes.
Okay. So when you hear Espinoza talk about it could be next year, beginning of the year, the end of the year, why aren't you guys putting some sounds fishy here?
What sounds fishy about that?
Fishy. You know what sounds fishy? What sounds fishy is that Showtime don't want the fight. Showtime does not want the fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Espinoza told Crawford, look, make this as difficult as possible because we're going to lose our ass with this fucking rematch. Excuse my French. We're going to lose our ass with this rematch. Try to get out of it. Espinoza talks like he don't want no parts of it. He ain't excited. He ain't saying, hey, we got a great rematch coming up. Spence is going to get back at it. He's going to show Crawford. He's going to get his get back. Espinoza talks like he does not want it. He's talking about next
Jerry,
year
are
when
you
the contract
back?
says he has to fight by the end. But y'all don't talk about that.
Yeah, there's no reason to talk about it. It's not relevant.
Okay. All right, man. What's relevant is whatever comes out of Crawford's mouth. My case is closed on it. Greg, love your passion. Jason, you know, you're more of a straight shooter when it comes to Crawford. But you just gotta come clean and say you don't like the guy.
Okay, we don't like him. 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 Hold up. We don't like him. We don't like him. Now what? We don't like him.
There you go. Hey, I got my point across. Now you can enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care, my friends.
All right, Jerry. Appreciate your call. That was Jerry Soriano, our favorite lender, always coming in to push the buttons. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things about Terence Crawford in terms of boxing that we don't enjoy, period. End of story. But we don't dislike Terence Crawford. That is not true. All right.
Oh, man. My head hurts.
Yo, I got FSU in the building. What's going on with you, bruh?
Why y'all let that dude punk y'all that long, man? He straight punked y'all, man.
What you mean punk, man? We went to. Come on, man. I cooked Jerry.
Here's the thing, though. Greg. Greg, he was right what he said, though. I guarantee you, Canelo won't fight Crawford. He can't beat Crawford. Canelo fights like Spence, and I thought Spence. I thought Spence was going to win that fight. If Crawford uses his speed and length, he can't beat Canelo. I mean, Canelo can't beat him.
So you think?
When they asked Crawford, Canelo about it, he started, he's not in my plans and stuff. Because it's almost like a Floyd fight. I'm not saying Crawford's Floyd because he's not, but their styles don't match up good. Crawford will fight Canelo more like the Cuban dude did, and he has more pop. Crawford's a lot better than Charlo is. But y'all let that dude just go on and on talking about fake fucking pay-per-view numbers. Like, one time on it, I was listening, he said that Spence got beat by a slave. Is this a white dude saying that shit? And Jerry, I live in Boston. You can call this show and ask them, if you want to come to Boston, I will meet you anywhere by myself because you talk too much shit. And I'm sick of it, dude. Every time I hear on it, it's like you some bad motherfucker. Like, so I want y'all to put that on to that dude, Jerry. I know he listening. Like, me and you can meet somewhere we can get get numbers and pass through. Because you're a fucking Huckleberry Finn motherfucker. I never get this mad. But the shit you was saying, dude, you were putting your chest out like you that dude. So let's see if you're that dude. Y'all have a good day.
All right, man. Talk to you soon, Walt. Man, Walt was hot there. Well, I might have to close down the phone lines, man. I wouldn't. Hold on, man. Let me pause the phone line here for a quick second. Okay, guys. I might be escalating things here, man. Jerry and I don't have a problem with Jerry at all. Like, to me, this was entertaining. Okay, so I don't find what Jerry says. Yeah, I don't find what Jerry says to be offensive at all. So I'm not sure what you're hearing. Maybe you can give me a call later. But I don't want you guys talking about showing up at each other's city and all that other stuff, guys. Come on now. No fighting.
Let this blood pressure that goes up, let it be Greg's.
Let it be my blood pressure, guys. Like, I like to have that was fun to me. I enjoyed Jerry's call. We had a good time. He got a chance to talk. I got a chance to talk, and we both got loud. Don't let that amp you guys up, okay? Don't get amped up by that, guys. All right. And Jerry will be calling back next week, man, and we're going to do the same thing, man. We're going to have a good time with it. All right. I'm opening back the phone lines. Sorry about that. I just had to pause real quick, man. And I disagree with Walt. Like, everybody wants to take Terence Crawford, the version that they see at 47, and just drop him into 68, as though weight don't matter at all. As carrying the weight don't matter at all. Like, y'all going to find out something much different when it actually happens, if it happens. You on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. Who we got in the building?
It's Randy, man. I know it's been a long time.
Randy, what's going on, man? You hearing this thing? Boy, this thing done turned into a war up in here, man. It's a war.
Oh, man. I wasn't going to call till I heard you and Jerry just now. That got my blood pressure going. I love that kind of stuff there, man. I said, man, they're having too much fun. I got to get in on that because, I mean, when somebody can get you the way you can just give it to them and they can give it to you, and then at the end, you can just shake your head, smile, see you next week, man.
Yeah. Jerry and I, we good, man. Jerry gonna be calling next week, and we gonna do the same thing, man. We are good. Like, I didn't take that as anything for me personally.
Oh, man, I didn't see nothing personal with that. I was like, man, when my channel get up and going like it need to be, that's the kind of action I like. That's the kind of energy I like. I like that back and forth. And like Jason said, his head was hurt. Your head hurt. Got to go take a blood pressure pill and get right.
Listen, guys, listen. Jerry has figured out how to push my buttons, okay? Jerry and Terrence, they both push my buttons. They both know how to push my buttons, but go ahead.
Yeah, man, but what I was gonna say, man, some of these Crawford fans, they're just over the top, man. They think this dude done reinvented the wheel and he the second man to walk on water and raise the dead and everything else. But a lot of things go into the situation Crawford put himself in. What I mean by that is they have been watching Errol for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and on my channel, which we got it started, we got a few members and subs, and we coming along. It's slowly but surely. But I've been talking about the fact that Terrence had been watching Errol for like 5 years. So I mirrored that situation to the Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Roy Jones didn't have his eyes on Antonio Tarver, but Tarver had been watching Roy for a long time. So when it was time for him to fight Roy had the same amount of time he used to prepare for most of his other fighters to fight Antonio. But Antonio had been watching him the whole while. So he was destined to get his butt dusted by Antonio. You feel what I'm saying? So
Antonio lost his fight against Harding. That's when he had his chance.
Huh?
He got his jaw broke by Harding. That's why they didn't fight early on.
Uh-huh.
That's why Tarver had to wait.
Yeah, but I just believe that he would have never beat Tarver because that was Tarver's grand finale. If he ain't win there another fight, because he wasn't a world beater. If he ain't win there another fight, he would beat Roy because that's the guy he had been watching for a long time. He kind of like, almost for a better lack of words, kind of like idolized him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't study him and everything. But anyway, so Terrence did the same thing with Errol because they knew Errol was the man because they told you when they got to the division, they knew Errol was going to be the man that they had to beat. So Errol's not watching this guy. The reason why Crawford had so many a rough time with Gamboa, a rough time with Green Machine, because he prepared for them the same way he prepared for all his other fighters. He would never he would never, I don't care how much money you give him, he would never fight Boots because he haven't had the same time to prepare for Boots that he had to prepare for Errol. Boots will make him look, I don't know. But anyway, it won't go as the fans think it would go. Because they just looking at that. You ain't never seen Terence look that good. You trying to tell me that Errol is worse than Green Machine? Or Errol is worse than Evanescence? No. He had more time to prepare for Errol than he prepared for anybody else. So now they looking at him like he can go up there and beat Canelo the same way because Mayweather did it. Mayweather is a defensive fighter. Mayweather is not going to get hit if he don't want to get hit. Crawford's subject to get hit. And if he up there messing with Canelo, he gonna get hit. And he don't have enough, his frame ain't built to take that Canelo is dishing out. Canelo would beat the back pockets off of Crawford. Because he just can't, he can't survive 12 rounds without Canelo walking him down. You see how he walked Mel down last night. That's just his game. So
no, I agree. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just gonna say I think Canelo. Everybody wants to take the version of Crawford and literally just pull him out of 47 and drop him into 68, as though adding 21 pounds is not going to have any impact on him at all. It makes no sense to me, that argument. And I think all of a sudden he's become Superman because he beat Errol in the way that he did. Styles make fights. Canelo is not just like Errol. He is not. I don't know where Walter's getting that from. I totally disagree with that. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
If they think he that bad, then I say don't stop with Canelo. Just move on up to Deontay Wilder. We know he ain't got nothing but a right hand. Captain Caveman, if he can get past the right hand, they feel like he can beat Deontay Wilder. Since you want to move him up, since weight don't make a difference, since weight class don't make a difference, move him on up there. You know what I mean? Like
let him move up and fight Benavidez. If he moves up and fight Benavidez, now he's a viable option for Canelo Alvarez. Right now, moving him up 3 weight classes, considering what we saw last night, I just don't think you can sell that. I don't believe you can sell that. I don't care what people think Bud is today. I don't believe you can sell that. And I don't believe he's that big of a draw. But it's still to be determined, to the point that Easy Band made. Like, you got to see what he does in his next fight. If in his next fight he does 300,000-400,000 pay-per-view buys with somebody outside of Errol Spence, then I will concede that he and Canelo Alvarez can do 1 million. I'll concede that. I have no problem with that. I just don't believe that that's the case today.
See, what a lot of people don't get and a lot of people don't understand, and I may have mentioned this before, but I mention this all the time, that the boxing community ain't big as you think it is. Exactly. If you look in your neighborhood, I think it's about 50 houses out here in my neighborhood, and I bet the farm that it ain't 5 hardcore boxing fans out here. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't big as this YouTube is pretty much our world.
Yeah, that's where Jerry gets that's where Jerry gets it wrong. He's talking about my bubble. If I were to go around my neighborhood similar to what you just said and ask people, do you know who Terence Crawford is? Do you know who Terence Crawford is? These same people that are watching Joe Rogan. Do you know who Terence Crawford is? They probably didn't even watch the episode with Terence Crawford. A lot of people don't care about that stuff. You got to have somebody that's engaging, man. And as soon as they started the interview and the first 2 minutes of Terence Crawford talking, they turned it off. They're like, no, I'm not interested in this guy. I mean, he's not like a Tyson. He's not like a Floyd. He's not like an Oscar. He's not like those guys. He's not captivating. He's not engaging. He's just a really, really, really good fighter. And there's nothing wrong with being a really, really, really talented and good fighter. But just because we don't agree with you don't mean that we hate Terence Crawford. I hate that argument. I do.
It ain't but a few fighters. It ain't but a few fighters that actually move the needle when it comes to outside of our community. You know, you had Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Mayweather. You know, those guys like that, they actually, you can mention those guys even to the people that don't really follow boxing. They know them because people talk about them. They don't know him. They probably couldn't identify him. If at the time, I'm gonna say, if they was in a lineup, but they know him from people talking about him. And most of the time, people talked about him, even people that didn't really watch boxing talked about him because it was a name everybody brought up. But outside of, like I said, outside of our community, what is it to talk about Terence Crawford? That he beat up Avenesian? That he beat up Kell Brook? That you feel what I'm saying? He haven't really done anything for us to put his name out there. The reason why we talk about Earl like we talk about him is because of the things he did, breaking eye sockets and whatever the case may be. That's why we talk about Earl. That's why a lot of people know more about Earl than about Crawford. And Crawford fans think because he beat Earl, the world is his oyster now. But where do you go? If you don't fight Jermell and you don't fight Earl, you tell me what's going to be a money fight for him. I don't see one.
Yeah.
Because he ain't getting Canelo. So where do he go from here? If he going to make money, where do he go? That's what the Crawford fan need to be trying to answer. Where do he go? Where do you think he go, Greg? I mean, I don't know. I don't see him going nowhere to make money. Where do you think he go?
I think his rematch is Errol Spence. I think that's where he's going to go to get his biggest fight right now. If he doesn't take Spence, the male fight is dead in the water, and he's not getting Canelo.
So where you go from there? You know, Jason?
Errol.
Where you go?
Errol, that's the only one. Unless somehow he managed to go to 154 to fight Zoo. The winner of Zoo and Mendoza.
He ain't making big money against Zoo. I would love to see him go do that.
But that set it up for undisputed with Mill later next year.
I would love to see him go and fight Zoo. Then you get a real understanding of who Terence Crawford is. If he goes and does 300,000 buys with Zoo, I'm all in. Like, yo, let's make the Canelo Alvarez fight, because I do believe at that point he'll do $1 million. And they'll probably figure out a way to put a story around it. And $1 million should get Canelo interested in making that fight. Now you got me. Without seeing Terence Crawford post Errol Spence, I don't know what he is post Errol Spence. And my analytics tell me that he's not much more than he was prior to the fight, regardless of the rounds that he's made. That's what I'm seeing. And I've asked other people the same thing. Go ahead.
I tell you this here, a lot of times the people that we talk to in boxing don't really dive deep into the fighters or dive deep into boxing. They only talking from a surface level. What I mean by that is they look at Crawford and look at Earl. They don't look at who they fought and who they fought. They just look at the wins and the losses.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence's career was strategically moved to hold on to the belt to fight Earl. Like I told you, he came in this game looking for Earl to be that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Bomac told you for the last 5 years they was training for Earl on every fight they fought. Even though they was fighting somebody else, they was training for Earl. So they made sure they took fights that was going to secure the belt. So that's why you didn't see him fighting Keith Thurman. That's why he didn't fight Danny Garcia. That's why it took him so long to fight Porter, because he made sure he was holding that trinket to the end. Almost like playing spade. And I know y'all know spade because all of us play spade. It's just like playing spade. A lot of people hold that big joker to the end. It ain't turning but one book, but we hold it to the end and hoping sometime we can catch the little joker, the big deuce or something. We hold it to the end because it make us feel like we in power. If we don't get nothing else, we got a book. You feel me? And they were holding that until the right time. And Earl stayed around in the division too long waiting, and it played against him, and it played right into their hand. So his fans, Crawford fans, didn't see the strategic move that they were making, taking these not really easy fights, but fights that was convincing enough to make it look like you was actually doing more than you were doing. But we saw it. We saw it the whole while. We saw it the whole while. And that's all they holding on to. That's just the way I see it, man. I could be wrong. That's just the way I see it.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna let somebody else get in. All right, man. I appreciate y'all taking my call, man. Good to holler at y'all again, and we'll be in touch.
All right, man. Sounds good. Later. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. Jason is out, but appreciate everybody that called in and everybody that gave to the channel today. Again, much appreciated everybody that participated today and everybody that called in. Walt, I know Walt a little hot. Hopefully Walt will calm down later on. Jerry and I, hopefully Jerry calls in next week and we get the opportunity to go at it again. And it's nothing personal with me and Jerry for you guys. I just want you guys to know that it's just talking trash and having a good time. Outside of that, we had a good night of fights last night. Hopefully we got some other big fights that are going to come up in November. I don't know if there's a whole lot of things currently going on in the sport for this month. I have to go and look back at the calendar, but make sure you guys smash the like button on the way out. Rafa Casanova, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for participating in the show today and being a part of the show. And we will catch up with you guys very soon. So until next time, peace.
Peace.
Bro, I had already gotten rid of you.